It's your boy Superman 2000 coming from the fight chair. Man, I'm pissed off. Now, this morning I got up out of bed, getting ready to head into work, right? So, next thing I know, Big Will sending me a text. I'm like, what's going on here? I look at the text. It says Conor McGregor gets boxing license in California, other states to follow. And I'm like, okay, I see what's happening here. The UFC stripped him of the belt. And being the master negotiator he is, he's like, okay, I tell you what, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get my boxing license. I have 2 more fights left on my contract. I'll fight those out, and then I'll go to boxing. And I may get that fight with Mayweather, make 100 million. You guys can kiss my Irish behind. But here's what I'm seeing. I've been following Mayweather on Instagram. I've been following Mayweather's comment, Mayweather's team, his management team. And what they're saying is, hey, congratulations, you got a fighting license, Conor, but that doesn't make you as good as Floyd, and you're not going to get the fight. So basically, Floyd Mayweather is never going to fight Conor McGregor. Floyd Mayweather say, hey, I'm happy retired. I've made a lot of money. And every time Conor posts or says something to aggravate Floyd, Floyd just posts pictures of himself with money. Like most recently, he posted a picture of $100 million check that he got. He just took a picture of it and sent it uncashed. So he's like, hey, I got so much money I'm sitting on, I even have $100 million uncashed checks lying around. So I'm in no rush to get back in the ring. And one of the comments that Floyd made is, hey, money doesn't make me, I make it. So he's probably figuring, hey, I'm good with the money. I don't need nothing else. So more than likely, if Conor McGregor goes into boxing, I get a weird vibe here because, in the beginning of mixed martial arts, if you remember, there was a promotion, right? That was Strike Force, owned by some boxing promoters. And Dana White talked a lot of smack about boxing, a lot of smack about them in the beginning of the sport. And so I'm of the conclusion that those vibes are still lying around, and they're not going to just say, hey, it's all good. You know Vegas is. We get you back later when we get you. So I have a feeling that if Conor goes into boxing, more than likely his first fight is not going to be against a big name, going to be against a small name. Then he's going to have to work his way up in a new sport, starting all over again from scratch. Then get to the point, because there's no way he's going to say, okay, I'm ready to fight Floyd Mayweather now, when there's other fighters in boxing, highly qualified, in line for a long time. In the UFC, he could jump the line because it's up to Dana White. But in boxing, old money and old guys control how that works. So he's not going to just jump ahead. Mayweather come back, he's going to either fight Pacquiao, because Pacquiao just beat Vargas, or he's going to fight one of the other top names. If he does come back, I really want to see him fight Lamenkov, who just beat my fellow Jamaican guy who tapped out, who just said enough. But I understand that the guy was had a concussion, standing on his feet, so he called out. So I do not see this move as a good move for Conor. I don't see it. The man has the MMA skills. He has the ability. He can go all the way. There's guys in UFC wanting to fight him. Once you start cross-promoting between boxing and MMA, once you stray from your main product line, what's going to happen is that, what if he goes boxing and then suffers a concussion and has a medical suspension? Then he will not be able to defend his title in the UFC. If he, so you can't be, that type of stuff worked with Bo Jackson because they were different seasons. Bo knows this and Bo knows that. Well, Conor McGregor knows this and Conor McGregor knows that. That's not going to work in mixed martial arts, because you take serious damage in mixed martial arts. So I'm not a fan of it, and it seems like this whole thing is starting to fall apart, and I really don't like it, because one, I feel like the UFC, okay, fine, they took the belt, that's one thing, but now feeding him to Tyrone Woodley, are you kidding me, dude? That guy walks around at 200 pounds and then cut weight to make the fight. We've seen what happens when Conor goes up in weight to the 170 level. Okay, he struggled with Nate Diaz, and then when he came back and got the win over Nate Diaz, that was a hard fought, difficult victory to get. And then now he's gonna go against Woodley. I mean, it's like it was like, are we seeing the demise of Conor McGregor here? I don't know, but either way, I'm not with it. If I was Conor, here's what I do. I'm not, so I can't run off my mouth until him what to do. But I know for a fact Mayweather's not gonna give him the fight. Period. Because think about this: if Mayweather gives him the fight, even if he'll lose, he'll still get a big payday. And Mayweather isn't about putting money in somebody else's pocket just because they talk trash. He's keeping all his money, and that's what he has on his Instagram. So think about this: Conor goes up, fight Woodley, gets mauled, then he has to come back down and defend his title. If I was him, I'd stay in my division, kick some butt like crazy, make it happen there, and then afterwards, if anything, I can go back down to featherweight again. But don't just what's the word I'm looking for? In a crisis, never never make an extreme reaction to somebody else reacting. So the UFC strip you of the belt, so you go and you get your boxing license immediately. You don't want to escalate. Do not escalate and send a strong message in negotiations, because if you escalate and the other party escalate, and then they say, okay, we both have our guns drawn, what now? Whereas if the other guy took his knife out, you say, hey man, if you take your knife out, I'm gonna go for my gun. I'm a nice guy, but I'll go for the gun. But no, you went for your gun. Now he's going for his gun. So it seems like it is a dysfunctional relationship in terms of Conor McGregor and the UFC, and the winning negotiations are done. But I'm going to keep an eye on this thing, not for the boxing, for Conor. Want to see him kick some butt in the UFC. Would love to see him fight Khabib. That would be a sweet fight, all right? All right, guys, that's my 2 cents from the fight here. Peace out.